Hello, and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. So in this video, I really just wanted to go over the kits of all the new characters that have already released and the characters that are coming out in the future. So all of these units are designed in a very specific way that I feel like in certain circumstances they can be the best units in the game, except for, well, these two. I'll get to them in a little bit, but the main three characters that just dropped for part 1 are exceptional. I feel like all of them are really strong and have the contention to be the best in their specific class of character. So for starters, going over Cooler, his leader skill is actually one that I'm really happy with. Terrifying Conquerors and Movie Bosses 170 is really strong, and adds a lot of characters like on his team that you can use that are still really strong. You got LR Turles, TUR, EZA Turles, all the Janimba cards, all of the Frieza cards, including Golden Frieza, Namek Saga Frieza, pretty much all of them. Pretty much any major villain that transformed ever is like on this, and it's really helpful. You also got Transformation Boost is like another category, is the 30% to give him the 200%. I like it a lot. I feel like running mainly like a supportive setup where you have Cooler and like maybe LR Golden Frieza and LR Janemba doing most of the damage, while the rest of the lineup is built to just support them and making them look a lot better. Is really helpful. Cooler super attacks, he stacks attack on his 18 key, which is really helpful, and greatly raises defense for 1 turn on his 12 key. Now the thing about his 12 key is that is the most important part of Cooler's kit, because that is all of his defense. He doesn't get any defense when actually attacking, but after his build up. So once he finishes building up, that's all he gets. He has to get these additional super attacks to be good defensively. Like Cooler's peak with 6 super attacks in a turn, he is in my far and away probably the most fun unit, the most damaging unit if they crit, and all around probably a really tanky character. The thing is though, you're really banking on just the crits, like banking on like the supers actually showing up, because he only has a medium chance of them actually becoming super attacks, which if you don't know, that's only a 30% chance. So he has the ability to do 6 super attacks, 5 of them giving him 50% defense for the turn. It's just the fact that he is so RNG dependent that if you don't get these super attacks, he just ends up looking really lackluster. But if you do start getting them, he looks absolutely insane. Like when Cooler is doing multiple 8 million plus super attacks in a turn, he is probably the best unit in the game. When he isn't doing that, he's like number 3. So this Cooler is still ridiculous even at his worst, but like getting these 12 key super attacks is like super important, and maybe even more important than actually getting his 18 key super attack, which just gives him a little bit of an attack stat for his supernova active skill, which is like good. It'll do great damage, especially because it also greatly increases his attack for 1 turn, as well as an eliminating an action. Very strong effect. But the main thing, right, that you really want to pay attention to, maybe been hearing me saying 6 super attacks and be thinking to yourself, I thought Cooler can only do 5. On a normal turn, Cooler can only do 5 attacks. On a turn in which he can proc this, if you are able to proc this within the turn and not like have his 10th attack be the last attack he does, he can and will do 6 super attacks. So, and that, I just feel like that's absolutely absurd, because you can get a chance to have him do his regular attack. You have the additional from his entrance animation for the first 3 turns. You have these 2 additionals that have a medium chance of being a super attack. You have this additional super attack from the 10th turn or 10th attack onward, and then you have his hidden potential attack. So that is, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 additional supers plus his initial super. That's insane. It's literally insane. If he does all of those and they're all 12 key super attacks, he's not dying to literally anything about. So Max, who cares? AGL Broly, I've seen him tank double digits. My 55% Cooler without big bad bosses active can tank AGL Broly in the red zone for double digit damage. That is how crazy this guy is. If you pull for him and you get him, all you need is like the good like support lineup for him, which includes this guy LR Janemba, as well as AGL Golden Frieza, both of which I think have a high likelihood of being featured on the like the Legend Carnival, the Legendary Summon Carnival that's coming out in part 2. I think that that is going to bring us an LR Metal Cooler as a festival exclusive, well, with having both of these guys being featured on it. And if that's the case, that might just be one of the best banners for people who want to run the Cooler team just in general, because you end up having such great synergy with Cooler in terms of like his amazing link set, because Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, and like Thirst for Conquest allow him to link up with pretty much every single good villain in the game. And then you have his Frieza links, which allow him to work well with Golden Frieza, considering he doesn't have Big Bad Bosses. And it just becomes absolutely insane how like very tight his team becomes. So I do heavily enjoy using Cooler and actually like seeing him pop off. It's very, very fun. Then we got Goku. Now Goku has a problem where his powerful comeback team is just not very strong. However, if you look on it, there is some really decent options that have now gotten 200% leads. For instance, we have Future Gohan and Trunks. This Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan, and the other, and Tech Ultimate Gohan. People's like really favorite TUR for like 2 years or so. All of them look really, really good on this team. I've used this team a lot in the past like few times. I know that I didn't post a summon video about Goku, but you just got to believe me in the fact that I got him. I got a Whis animation while not recording because I was at my job, and I kind of just like freaked out on my job. So we're not gonna really talk about that too much because it was a little embarrassing. But the point is that this team actually functions really, really well. The problem that I have with this team is picking a character you want to revive, because there's so many characters on this team that just have revive abilities that they get a lot better when after they revive. Goku himself gets his guaranteed guard forever. Future Gohan is literally terrible unless you revive. You can exchange into Goku if you revive, which is just a way better character and fits really, really well on this team. What I've been doing whenever I run this event, run this team in hard events, is letting this guy die and get his revive off, because Goku fits so great into this team. I have a 55% Goku, like Vegeta / Goku. This guy was double-digit tanking AGL Broly at 55% in level 1 links, because he also has All in the Family, Sand Lineage, Sand Warrior Race, Prepare for Battle. Like, this link set is absurd. And you know who else has a very good link set? Oh wait, that's right, this guy. And you know who else this guy links well with? Everyone's favorite boy right here. All in the Family, Sand Lineage, like Fierce Battle. Like, it's just absurd. And this guy has more than enough defense now with the 200% that he can just stack up to infinity and be perfectly fine. So I genuinely think that letting this guy be the character you want to die is like the optimal play with this team. I know Goku gets a lot better like after he revives with his guaranteed guard no matter what, but like, if you are running this team correctly, you shouldn't be under 59% HP too often, unless you're just getting really, really bad luck, because Goku's a monster, this guy's a monster, this guy's a monster. Like, you shouldn't really be taking too much damage. I would also like to mention that he links very, very well with that Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan. So you got to think about this, right? That Gohan, hold on, let me pull him back up. Powerful comeback, that's the easiest way. So this guy is super underrated on this 200% lead, because one, he raises defense on every single one of his super attacks, and he absolutely does absurd damage. And the best thing about this is this bottom part right here, the movie hero Goku. We now have an insane movie hero Goku who links so well with him. We got Super Saiyan, Sand Warrior the Race, Prepare for Battle, Legendary Power. Like, that's enough. That's all you really need. Like, and they just pump this guy full of damage. I saw my rainbowed Super Saiyan 2 Gohan do a 14 million attack stat without his active skill, followed up by 2 8 million attack stats, all 3 of which crit, and then he proceeded to take double-digit damage from AGL Elabro. I know he's tech, so he has type advantage, but this guy is almost 2 years old, and he was doing that well. It is absolutely insane what this guy can do on this 200% lead. And then we got my boy Piccolo here. Piccolo's actually really, really strong. This is what they need to keep making when they're actually introducing all these hard events, because Piccolo is the correct way to build a character with these kind of trash links, right? He guards. He has damage reduction. He has this massive attack and defense at the start of turn. He supports. He has all this other stuff. He raises defense on his super attack. I've seen him eat Dragon Ball Super Broly's, like the AGL one in the red zone, his super attack for 138k before he got his damage reduction active. Note, because the one thing about this guy is his damage reduction doesn't actually activate until the second time he's getting hit, because after the first hit, that is what activates the damage reduction. So that first hit, he will not have damage reduction. Same thing with this Goku's defense. If he gets super attacked before he gets hit the first time, he can take a lot of damage, but after that he won't. The same concept is with this Piccolo. He wants to get hit once, that will activate his damage reduction, and then he literally will not take damage from anything else in the game. This Piccolo is really, really strong, and I'm very glad that they actually did him good, and like unlike last year where they kind of made that banner unit Piccolo like absolutely garbage. Well, that's enough of the units that I've actually released in the game. The problem that I have with a lot of characters that came out in the celebration or will be coming out is these two EZAs. I don't feel like they're very good. The main problem is with this Frieza in particular, where are you running him? He's not better than AGL Frieza, who isn't even that good to begin with. And I mean, like, sure, he links decently with Cooler, but look at these numbers. He has decent attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 40% when performing a super attack, like, and that's it. And then he raises attack and defense on both of his supers. But you don't want to get this super because it lowers your HP. Like, I don't understand why they just pumped this guy full of attack instead of giving him more defense. Why couldn't they have given him 40% attack and defense for each of these? Why is it just attack? And it's not even like it's a lot of attack. They like literally only gave him like an extra, what, 30%? Yeah, they gave him an extra 30% attack. Ooh, crazy. Oh my god. Like, it doesn't help anything. The only thing that they really gave him that's like even slightly useful is he has disables the attacked enemy's action for one turn when HP is 40% or less when attacking. That's it. That's all he really has that's like kind of decent. Everything else is very mid. If they would have given him 2 key 40% defense on both of these, then that means that when this guy is low HP, you're not dying. Like, he'll actually be really helpful because his stats would be way higher. I also think that this could have been a 3-turn buff instead of a 1-turn buff. Maybe make this 80% attack and 80% defense when attacking. We shall see what he looks like when he comes out, but just from reading his raw data, like, it doesn't look very good on paper. I'm very concerned that this guy is just going to be dead in the water and never going to be used ever. Like, his category that he leads is bad. He doesn't do enough in his passive. He doesn't raise his attack and defense by enough in his super attack. He doesn't have any other good effects on his super attack besides raising his attack and defense. In fact, he has a really bad one. Like, the difference between this guy and like Kaoken Goku is Kaoken Goku doesn't take damage. He gets so much defense on his super attack that this doesn't matter, and it's only on his 18 key super attack, so you don't have a chance of actually doing it twice, because this guy has always struggled really with ki. Like, that's been his main issue. Granted, they gave him 4 ki instead of 2, so it's a lot easier to get that 18 key super attack, but like, getting an additional super attack hurts you. That shouldn't happen. I don't know why they kept this. I get that they lowered it by 3%, but like, god damn, they should have done a little bit more than that. I'll test him out. I have him 90% because I pulled so many copies of him off the Goku banner, but like, I'm really worried that this guy's just going to be completely dead and never used ever. It's very sad what they've been doing with the EZAs, because like, all the summonable characters except for Raditz have been crazy, but then all of the EZAs this year have been like kind of lackluster and not really as good as they should be, which leads us to this guy who has a decent leader skill. Honestly, like, I'm fine with this leader skill. Super Saiyans and Planet Namek Saga 170, that's good. I feel like this could have been a 2-turn attack and defense buff for all allies, like, because he doesn't have enough defense to actually tank in slot 1 to give it to the entire rotation. So you're really only asking to give this 30% to him and then the floater, which, like, granted, your slot 1 character should be able to tank without this additional 30%, so I don't think it's like the worst ever, but like, it would be helpful if he was able to give it to 2 turns. That way every single character except for like the character in slot 1 can benefit from it. They didn't give him too much from his actual like changing. Like, all he has is stats in his passive. when he's in base form, which is like really lame. He really should have had something else here. Like, I don't know what, but it really should have been something else. I also feel like for his super attack, they could have done what they did with the LR Ginyu, where he raises his own attack and defense by 30% and then gives the allies 30% attack and defense. That would have been nice. You got just stats. Granted, they made it a lot faster to get all of his stats and a massive stat increase plus key, so that's good. His link stat has always been crazy. His actual base stats are really, really high, so when he easy is, it's going to be ridiculous. He has really good links, but like as you can see, he loses his best links all in the family, and I believe Sand lineage after he transforms, so that's a little depressing. I don't think it's going to be too hard to actually transform into this guy, because as I've always said with like characters like this that need to be under 70% or like around the 70% HP mark, you both being under and over can't both be bad. Like, that is not possible, because if one is bad, then the other one happens all the time. Like, because the problem that I've seen mainly with LR Tech Gogeta is people say that his active skill never happens, right? Which, like, fair, if you take a lot of damage, it's not going to happen. But then they also turn around and say that it's really hard to get physical Super Saiyan 2 to 3 Goku to transform. And that is, it literally contradicts themselves, because that can't be the same thing, especially on the same team. That's like not a thing, because they both are around the 70% mark. Goku needs to be under 70% HP and Tech Gogeta needs to be above it. Like, it's not possible for them both to have a bad transformation condition at the same time. Like, it's just not a thing that can happen unless you're in this weird limbo state where whenever Tech Gogeta's on rotation, you're below it, and whenever Super Saiyan 2 Goku is, you're above it. Like, unless you're in that weird kind of position, then that shouldn't be happening. But then the Super Saiyan form of this guy, I also feel like it's a little lacking. Like, they did give him a massive stat increase of over 100% bonus attack and defense. So honestly, it could be really good. Plus, you add this additional defense when HP is 70% or less. This could be really strong, especially when you're like actually needing it, because like you took damage. So I am interested to see how this guy performs, especially when you have this additional defense active. The problem that a lot of people really have with this guy is the fact that he still has only a medium chance to get his guard. Again, that is just a 30% chance, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this guy can activate his guard mid-turn. That is a thing. We've seen it happen. He also can get it off of any physical type unit. But so that could be really, really useful. But it only being a 30% chance is a little low. I kind of wish they bumped it up to 50%, and then he maybe would have been able to be used a lot more. Now, the thing about this guy, he also has a rage mode. It is a good rage mode now, because it actually can get you a lot of orbs, especially when like after he transforms, because he's not, or detransforms, because he's not going to use all of his rainbow key spheres. Like, he's not going to use all of them for his 3 super attacks. So it's going to be able to transfer over to the next turn and actually be used by the characters that you want to give these rainbow key spheres to. And after using LR Janemba a lot recently, rage modes can actually be really, really helpful in red zone, because if you know that you're in a turn where you wouldn't live a certain attack order, but you have a rage mode active, you can just use that to reset the attack order, and you most of the time will be a lot better off after doing that. And I feel like that is the one area where these rage modes are actually really helpful, because they don't really do too much damage ever. They never really are that impressive. They have no, if they gave these guys links, if they let them link with each other and actually have good attack stats, it would be insane. Because I know they let them have hidden potential systems along with the giant characters, right? If they allowed them to keep their link set, oh my god, would these mage modes actually be useful? Because right now they're really not. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about a lot of these characters. I love these 3. I feel like they're crazy good. I don't even have Piccolo myself, but I've seen so much gameplay of him being absolutely cracked out of his mind. And so like these 3 I feel like are amazingly built. Both of these 2 have potential to be the best unit in the game in specific circumstances. He's really good. I just wish they made these EZAs better, man. If STR Cooler and AGL Meta Cooler EZA in part 2, they better make them at least viable, because if they're not, that's going to really hurt Cooler in the long run, especially if the EZA right now, because that's going to be them dead in the water forever and really kind of hurt partners for cooler, especially for people who don't have AGL Golden Frieza and physical Janemba, because especially on global, when you don't have access to AGL Golden Frieza, it's definitely gonna hurt a lot. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about all these characters in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.